thank you all. I'll tell you, this has been an incredible journey, and I am just so honored to have you here on the ground that I grew up on. Let me say this. Nobody gets to Congress by themselves. You're one of many on your team. And I want to say that without question, God has led us to this point. I believe with all my heart that the best years of this country are still ahead of us.
Amen.
It is no secret that my faith dictates my life, and it has led me to this point. It led us to run in this race. You also know that secondary to my faith are the people that stand behind me right now. Our family. And I have to tell you, it's a great family to be a part of. We love each other. And I'm so honored that they've been a part of this journey. You know, there's a lot of people that have become a part of our family. And I'll tell you, it's been an amazing journey to have Jonathan Hayes as our campaign manager. You know, to have Jennifer Bowman as our finance director. To have Teresa Eaton as our field director. And I have to tell you, James Waterstrat, one of our deputy field directors, along with Melissa and Sven Thompson, along with Richard Plantek, Vicki Doolittle, I got to tell you, they have poured the hours. And then that family continued to grow. And it started growing to other counties. You know, Lane and Chris, I saw y'all are here tonight. Thank y'all so much. Jeff Porter, Mike Dasher, the people that walk the streets in Tallahassee, Carolyn and Colin Land, unbelievable. The entire Land family. You know, all of the volunteers that I don't even know their names, but they have come, they've worked so hard to get us to this position tonight. I want to say that it has been a very spirited campaign. It has been one where people that love their country and that are concerned about the future of this country have debated hard for 10 months. I look forward to working with them going forward.
Amen.
They don't love their country any less tonight than they loved it when the day started. And I know this, that through that spirited debate, they have made our campaign and my candidacy what it is tonight. And so I applaud them. It's been difficult, you know that, but I'll tell you this, they are people that love their country, and I applaud that love and that devotion that they have. I want to say, 10 months ago, we started with a simple question, and that question was, had we had enough? And you know, there's been a lot of water under the bridge over the last 10 months, and yet tonight we're starting to get the answers from that question. We're starting to hear from people in 16 counties. We're starting to hear from small business owners, from homeschool moms. We're starting to hear from farmers, from fishermen, from people that are working as hard as they can, that they have in fact had enough. And so tonight, they speak with clarity. They have had enough. And they're ready to make sure that this economy gets back on its feet. They're ready to make sure that these numbers of historical unemployment, that stops. That we as a nation stop penalizing those that create jobs. That we make sure that the future that we make sure that this economy is the most robust the most powerful economy that the world has ever known. That we get Americans back to work. And that we put a limit upon the massive expansion of the federal government.
Amen.
We've talked about a river during this campaign. We've talked that the federal government is like a river. That rivers are good. Rivers have a purpose. They're good for transporting cargo up and down the river to cities. Rivers are good for hydroelectric power. Rivers are good for irrigation, to irrigate our crops. They're good for fishing, running channel cat. They're good for swimming. They're a beautiful part of our landscape. But every now and then that river rises. And it rises. And it rises. And before we know it, it has overflowed its banks. And you know what? Before we know it, that river that we thought was beautiful, that had a purpose in our life, that was an asset, is now the largest liability that we know. It is now in our homes. It's 6 foot up our walls. It is now in our businesses. It is flooding entrepreneurship. It is flooding creativity. It is flooding our churches. It's flooding our schools. It's flooding our crops. And in my family, it's pretty important. It's flooding our deer stands and our duck blinds. Tonight I ask you, help me be a part of a movement that grabs those sandbags and we run to that river and we push it back to within its designed banks. Help me push government back.
Amen.
So that we the people that we can enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, those God-given rights that we were born with, that we were created with the moment we were conceived. I need you going forward. We need to push that river back to within its boundaries so that this country will prepare for the next generation, my children, that it will prepare for them. I want to say in closing that I thank Susan, that I thank Samantha, Stephanie, Allie, and Abby. They're my girls. And I love them with all of my heart, mind, and soul. And it is incumbent upon their dad to be a part of controlling that river. So, we want to continue to celebrate. Tonight is a night for celebration. It is a night that we the people have been heard. And I thank you and I thank everyone across the 16 counties of North and Northwest Florida. Tonight, enjoy, celebrate, and in the morning, we again resonate the phrase, we have had enough! And in closing, and I close this with every statement I make, may God bless you. And may God continue to shed His grace upon the greatest nation the world has ever known.